Hi friends from YouTube. Hola mis amigos de YouTube. This is Penguina once again bringing you another cover video. Whoop, whoop. And this time I'm going to do a vegan recipe as I tell you the story on the day we kind of decided to buy our home. And I was 22 years old when I did that. How fun is that? I know nowadays with the economy and all the craziness, it's probably hard to accomplish, but it was pretty easy back in the early 2000s when we purchased our first home in the state of Nevada. And I'll be telling you that quick story while I put together. This basically is what when I tried out the vegan basically diet or lifestyle. I didn't really do the lifestyle. I just did more of the food, and I tried my best to stay on it. But 6 months is all I lasted, and it was simply because I was looking for something that was going to help my health and rapidly lose weight and whatnot. Now, unfortunately, that didn't work out for me. Not criticizing me by all means, some people do it, of course, for the lifestyle and the respect of the animals, and I respect you. So, being that said here, I'm going to go ahead and bring you this delicious vegan recipe that I used to love anytime I wanted to have some type of ceviche. And it's very delicious, very easy to make, and the ingredients, everything's practical. It's pretty easy. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of bring them and toss them around, and hopefully this video won't be long, but no promises. My crazy self. I'm always going to go ahead and just chit chat away. And before I do all of that, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. That way it's letting me know that you do appreciate the stories and the recipes, or at least one or the other. Please leave your comments below, and I will try to get to them as quickly as possible, and see what I can do for you guys, right? If there's anything that I can, accommodate, I will try. No guarantees. But anywho, let's get into the story and let's get into the recipe. Now, from my videos, of course, I'm sure you guys have seen that Mr. Pinguino and I got married very young. And what I'm doing is everything's been chopped. And I've put it in the refrigerator. So I'm keep taking it out of the refrigerator as we speak. And the biggest of the ingredients that I'm gonna pour into this ceviche, vegan ceviche, is going to be cauliflower. Okay, so that's the main, everything else comes in, but it's just a little bit. And so what I wanted to share is this is almost 1 head of cauliflower that's been washed, and I finally chopped. Now it took me forever, but it's worth it. If you want to buy it frozen and try it that way, you're more than welcome to. For those who have been watching my videos or who have seen my previous videos, you'll hear me say that I rarely use anything from a can. I do prefer bag or fresh. When I can, fresh. I don't care if it takes me an hour to chop, hour and a half. I'll watch whatever TV show and do it, whatever, Now, so my story, of course, is when Mr. Pinguino and I got married young, we didn't have a house right away. We lived in an apartment. And because of the fact that I was a little bit more mature than he was, go ahead and add 1 cucumber. And I'm just going to add this, and then I'll just insert this stuff so that I can actually get to the story, okay? And then concentrate on that. Now, Mr. Pinguino and I got married when I was 17 and he was 19, had 3 kids, whatnot. And then, so what we ended up doing is I, again, was a little bit more mature than he was. And I kept, telling him like, hey, I'm gonna want a house, so I have a yard for the kids so that they can, you know, so they can play and enjoy life. And, I never had that when I was growing up. I always lived, my mom never wanted a stable like home. We always lived like in apartments, and it got tiring for me when I was little. I was introduced to just elementary school. I went to, that I can remember, 3 different elementary schools, which is like really hard to do as a small child, when you're doing first grade, second grade, third grade. And then you go to this and you've made friends, and then they move you, and then you basically are starting all over with the friends, and it's horrible. I didn't want my kids to experience that. My youngest experienced it just a little bit, and I'll tell you that story later on. But we did purchase our first house, and it took a minute. I mean, I didn't really know much of what I was doing. We did have a little bit of help. Had a horrible loan. It was like for anybody that knows loans, it was like an 1820. So I had, no, I believe, no, the second was, sorry. So I had an older house, wasn't too expensive, and interest rate was actually high, but I wanted a house, so I didn't really care. I actually saw the paperwork afterwards, as I already knew about home owning and was basically already on like my third purchase when it came to houses. And again, yeah, we started pretty young. So, I mean, I wish I could have started younger than that, but unfortunately, a lot of stuff got in the way where it just didn't happen. So it's okay. It happened when it happened, and I'm glad it did happen. And then, so we ended up purchasing a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, had a nice yard in the state of Nevada, and quickly learned to like not enjoy living there because it was a big city. And the reason we didn't enjoy it, not necessarily was it because of where the house was located. I love the fact that the elementary school was right around the corner. So whenever my kids were ready to go to school, I could just walk them. It was like literally a few steps. For this story, I'll just say it was like a few, like around the corner, like half a block, I guess. But it was literally like 4 houses, and then the backyard of the final house, and then you cross the street, and bam, there's the elementary school. But for this story, I'll just say that it was half a block. Anywho, but we quickly stopped liking it because we had our family close by. My mother and siblings, and then his mother and siblings. So basically the in-laws and then my family. And then they would just, get in the way of us raising our 3 kids. And so, we eventually sold that house and then moved a little bit over an hour away. And that's going to be another story. But that's the forever house that I have here in Nevada, where I am right now, where you see this beautiful backsplash. We've owned this property for over 21 years almost, coming up in March. How cool is that? And we bought this house when I was about 25. So in the next story, I'll let you guys know how we actually went about and, kind of a little bit more. Now this salad is almost done, but let me go ahead and grab the seasonings while I have you. Now the seasonings here, it's basically going to be up to you guys. Now, of course, it's going to need some salt, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then so a little rock. And I am big on salt, so because this is a big salad slash ceviche. Now ceviche is just the format that you cook like the fish and or shrimp, but because this is vegan, no seafood, no none of that, and you'll see everything I'm using is nice and clean and vegan. Granulated garlic. I'm telling you, this was like, even my husband, that he wasn't doing the vegan diet, I was just me, he loved it. Now I did put a little serrano pepper in there, so I'm not gonna do cayenne pepper. I know I always do that, but this time no. So I'm just doing salt, okay? And now in a ceviche, you would typically use the tomato juice that contains seafood, but because this is vegan, I'm gonna use a V8. And give me one quick second, I'll be right back. Okay friends, just like it never happened, I'm back. So the other tomato juice that I was telling you, or I was trying to tell you, is clamato juice. That would be for like a ceviche or, you know, a shrimp cocktail. But again, this is vegan, so what I'm gonna use is straight up V8. But I like the spicy one, so spicy hot. And as far as I know, it does not contain any type of animal product. I've checked. But vegans, correct me if I'm wrong, but I've always used V8. Not necessarily the spicy hot, but V8 juice, tomato juice. And then I'm gonna do 1 lemon, possibly both. And I like washing them, so. Now my counters are, they are butcher block. So that's why you see me, maybe see me cutting these in. But anywho, back to the story. So, the beautiful house that I bought again over there in Nevada, in the big city, is where I was trying to raise our kids. We were trying, but we were just having a hard time adjusting to the fact that, you know, family kind of always intervened and was just showing up unannounced, and it was just so much drama. And then husband and I had a conversation, and then that's when we ended up moving in the outskirts of Nevada to a smaller town, not too far away from the big city. And, you know, lived happily ever after. Just kidding. No, we had like other houses and moves in between, but well, I'll tell you a little bit more about those. So there's can number 1. Okay. Now I like it juicy. I'm not sure, you know, how you guys might like it. I will list the ingredients. It's basically, and I'll go over it. My story is pretty much done. I mean, what we did is we just purchased a home. Our first home. It was awesome. Negotiated. Had a little bit of issues there. We didn't really do like a house inspection that I can remember. So, you know, it was an older house, but the main point is that at a very young age, I had said that I wanted to invest in a home. And I thank God that my husband listened, because he was younger and not as mature as I was. And, you know, people kept telling him like, oh, you're stupid. Like, why are you trying to buy a house? You're so young. That's a big responsibility. You should be thinking about, like, you know, just sticking to an apartment. And I convinced them otherwise. You know, I said, honey, you know, this is an investment. We can always sell it. We can always, you know, do this, do that. Like I have that, you know, ability to convince people, I guess. Because he's like, you know what? You do whatever you have to do, and then you tell me where to sign. And I said, okay, yeah, that's all you gotta tell me. Right there, that's it. Until this day, he'll say, and so I went ahead and just gonna do the 2 lemons. And so till this day, he says the same thing. Anytime we're buying any type of car, any type of house, any type of property, any type of anything that requires legal anything, he'll just say, you know what, whatever my wife said. And people, and ooh, car sales guys get mad. They, you know, they don't try not to show it, but they do, because I'm hard. I'm really hard. Like, if it's not the way I want it to go, I'm sorry. I don't care how much you want that sale. It's gonna either benefit me 100%, or, you know, see ya. But that's just me, and that's another story. But yeah, we purchased the house and moved in. Our kids, we were there for like a year, so my daughter's probably the only one that remembers just a little bit. My boys don't really remember. They remember this house where I'm at right now more than anything. And I'm just re-squeezing, okay? It's not more lemon. And of course it's lemon, not lime. That's why I'm using the yellow. All right, friends, I'm not going to keep you any longer than what it is. This is done. This is the delicious. There's cilantro, there's cucumber, there's tomato, one serrano seeded and just diced in little pieces. And the biggest is the cauliflower, because it's super delicious. Now, add the spices that you want to enjoy. Typically, it's just salt, granulated garlic, onion powder if you want it. Not me, I'm okay because it has diced onion as well. And then that's it. So basically what we do here is we stick it in the refrigerator for 30 minutes, and then I'll show you how we enjoy it, okay? Okay, so what I do is I have these premium with sea salt saltine crackers. And this is how much they like. My son and my husband like it. That's it. So there's only one pack left. And I didn't know, so I would have told my son to bring more. But anywho, if you want it juicier than what you see here on the screen, then you see it right there. The juiciness. I hope you can see it. That's basically it. You just, you know, you're gonna grab. And again, I'm not gonna eat this because, well, not the saltine crackers, but you can use tostadas as well. Of course, those are vegan as well. You can make your own, or you can buy them at the store, depending on make sure that they're using proper oils and whatnot. So then you're just gonna do, of course, you're gonna pour yourself in a little bowl or whatever, but this is basically what you do over a saltine cracker, and then you enjoy. Okay. It has delicious like flavors. I'll taste it right now. It's good. Again, I use the spicy V8. You could use 2. You can use just a regular. Now it's not going to have any type of seafood flavor. Now, if you do want to add the seafood flavor, because you can, I know it's vegan, so here's what I would recommend. Bam! A little bit of Old Bay seasoning. Okay, because it just says spices, pepper, salt, paprika. Okay, so this, if you guys really must have that little delicious seafood taste, just add that. And there you go, folks. Easy as taking forever to chop all the vegetables, but putting it together and devouring it is the fun part. So there you go. That's basically what I have for you guys here in today's video. I want to thank you guys so much for supporting my channel. I love you guys so much. May God bless you all. You do you, I do me, and definitely we'll see you in the next video. Well, God willing anyways. See ya.